Hey rookies, what's up? Welcome to another edition of the Bourbon Rookie. I'm your host, the Bourbon Rookie himself, Kevin. I'm doing a tasting of Pikesville Rye. Went to the local liquor store just to pick up a couple things, and I figured why not give this a shot. I mean, I wanted to crack it open anyway and have a small glass, so I always feel compelled to give like a tasting impression. So, basically, it's a 6-year rye whiskey. It's an Heaven Hill product. I think the only other Heaven Hill product I've had that I've reviewed was the Henry McKenna, which I really liked. That's just me. I know it kind of gets mixed reviews. However, I see this Pikesville quite often on other review channels, and I see it all the time, talked about in Malines and done in Malines, and everybody pretty much raves about it. So it's not necessarily I'm going to bring anything new to the table on this that you don't already know, but why not? It's my channel. I've never had it. Let me give it a shot and tell you what I think. So it's 110 proof, age 6 years, as I said. It's a, it's basically, what's the mash bill on this guy? Interesting. It's 51% rye, 39% corn, 10% malted barley. It's got a nice dark copper color. Is that copper? Oof, wow. If I really get my nose in there, man, I get some really good chocolate and caramel notes. And even like the ethanol that you get in through the sinuses, it's not even like harsh. It doesn't open the sinus. It's just like a sweet ethanol. It's really kind of nice. All right, well, no, it's still a sweet ethanol. I was just gonna say, just from spinning it, aerating the alcohol, the ethanol about to get a little bit stronger. Maybe now I'm getting a little bit of a cherry note. Anyway, cheers. Ooh. This is different because what I got on the initial nose, which was fairly subtle, was not what I got on that first sip. It was basically opened up all my sinuses, getting that nice warm hug, which on a warm night is now starting to make me sweat. And sometimes when you get blasted like that, you don't really pay attention to the palate on the first sip. So let's go again. Wow. Well, now I see what all the hype's about. I mean, for 55 to 60, 65, depending upon your area, or maybe cheaper. But let's just say it's in the $50 range, $50 to $60 range. This is really good. Now, I don't really drink a lot of rye, and I guess rye is like a very, I wouldn't say bougie, but it's not. I don't really see it often reviewed as I think maybe it should be, or maybe it's just maybe I'm just not paying attention. Do you have more ryes in your collection than you have bourbons or American whiskeys? Boy, this thing, there's a really long hug on this guy. The sweet ethanol I had on the nose is just, it's just all ethanol. It's almost like a spearmint, you know, like a spearmint finish. You know, like you're getting the cherry and the chocolate, all that, and a little bit of the caramel, but that it's almost like a cough drop. You know how like when you take like what's a really mentholy cough drop that just opens everything up. You know, that's kind of like what the effect is here. Truth be told, this glass has been sitting out for a while. It's been sitting out for about an hour because I really wanted it to kind of open up. Let's go to oils on there. Doesn't look like. Yeah, I don't see the oil running really, you know, fast down the side of the glass. I'll tell you, for 110 proof, it feels like it's 120 proof when you drink it. It's really got that punch to it, you know. But if you take your time with it and really concentrate on the sip, the flavors in here are really good. So for its and giggles, I kind of want to see how this guy stacks up to the Russell Reserve 6-year. It's fairly close in mash bill. It's I'll get that to you. It's fairly close. It's 52% rye, so they go up 1 on the rye, 36% corn, and 12% malted barley. So a little higher on the malted barley. So, like my glassware, yeah. I know everybody's got their own glass, you know, and their own shirts. But hey, you throw your support if you like somebody, right? So initially, this is just it almost smells this one smells spearminty on the nose. Like soapy. Hopefully that's not soap on the glass. But it's just basically a spearmint. Definitely not the same. I'm not getting the same nose as I am on that. And the problem is, I probably should have some water after drinking the Pikesville, because it's still like that cough drop effect, where it's still blasting me. If you could see, I'm red. You know, that's from the heat that this guy brings. It's only 110 proof. No, this is 90 proof, so it's going to be a little bit of a difference. You know, regardless of the mash bill. So yeah, this one's way more toned down. It's way more toned down. It's more of a it's more like a creme brulee at this point. And if you combine the nose, it's like a minty creme brulee. It's almost like, you know, they put like if they have a spearmint or a spearmint garnish, and you kind of eat that on top of your creme brulee. Yeah, I mean, taste-wise, the Russell's, in my opinion, kind of outdoes the Pikesville. I mean, the Pikesville is delicious, but it's just, you really have to like that power punch. I mean, like I said, the 110 drinks like it's 120. And there's that presence, that first of all, that hug stays with you. It's still there, and then just that attack on the sinuses where it's just like I'm still feeling it. I'm not getting it from this. I mean, I'm not hating on the Pikesville, but just to bring it down, this is just an easy sipper. This is a real easy sipper. The Russell's Reserve. Back to the Pikesville. It's funny when I go back to the nose on this. It's almost dank now. There's almost a little bit of a dankness. So when people go old books, when they smell old books or basement or that's kind of what I'm getting a little bit. Kind of weird. I'll say this. This is much more complex than the Russell's Reserve. The flavors that you get on this are a lot more concentrated. But if you didn't have that ethanol and that burning and that attack on the sinuses, this would blow the Russells away. I think for me, that bang on the sinuses right off the bat, and it's still there. Now, I don't know if that's what you would consider a finish. I would think that your finish would be a result of the oils that are in the glass, which hold flavor, which hold alcohol, which then the oils go into the taste buds, into the palate. I don't think that I'm wrong to say that your finish is not that blast of heat and ethanol. Because if it were, then it'd be an extremely long finish. Right? I don't have any flavor left over, any residual flavor, but I still have that heat, man, and it's making me sweat. I almost have to take the hat off. Ruin my look, baby. Whew. I mean, but again, for me, I think that's a little bit of a negative. So I'm a little bit disappointed with that power punch because there's so much flavor in here that's being masked by that. If that makes any sense. Oh. Boom. The flavors are so good, but then you get that punch. And I know, I hope I'm not boring you by illustrating the punch. I don't think I've got that in anything that I've had, even at a higher proof from bourbons or even other ryes for that matter. But I mean, if you like that, I mean, now maybe this would be something that would be better over ice, but I'm not gonna bore you. I'm sure I'll do some things down the road with the Pikesville. But man, it's like making my eyes water. I mean, the flavors are really that good, but the punch for me is a negative. So I don't know if this is something that once I finish the bottle I would buy again, because it takes a lot away from me. Now maybe once I get down into this bottle, it'll change, because we've already seen the nose change on this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure I'll do something down the road with the Pikesville, and we'll update that as we go along. But if you want something that's not gonna just be an all-out attack on, and let's face it, we're coming into summer, You know, this would be a really hard sipper if you're out on your deck, you know, and you're after a hot day. This would just, like right now I'm sweating from this. Can you imagine? I don't think anybody would enjoy this on a nice hot day. Now, of course, you could put it into a cocktail, but if you had to choose between, you know, coming into summer, that and this, I'd be going with that, just because, just the difference in the proofs. I mean, again, 110 proof. I've had a lot of 110 proofs, like the old. You can go with the Old Forester. Is it the 1910? Is it 20? Whichever Old Forester is the, you know, the 120 proof, the 115 proof. It doesn't even drink as hot. It doesn't drink as hot as that. So, at any rate, guys, I don't want to bore you to death. But Russell's Reserves just wins because, you know, today here in New York was a fairly hot day, and this was just so much more pleasant to drink than that. I mean, again, the flavors in here are phenomenal if you didn't have that power punch. And now, if that's your bag and you know you've had the Pikesville, you know, and that's your thing, then you know more power to you. But for me, I don't know if I'd go back to that. Just saying, especially if the price point's going to keep getting higher. Anyway, guys. Oh, and I didn't even compare this to New Riff. I mean, I know New Riff is like their basic rye is a 4-year rye, but that I could drink all day long. But anyway, I digress. That's gonna do it. Sorry for the somber review and tasting notes, but give me a like, give me a subscribe, and we will see you on the next review or the next tasting, because I really kind of suck at reviews. Take care, guys. Stay frosty.